What I want to do in the interest of your time is busy is just run through some of the stuff in your folder, right? So this is pretty much the list of what you have in your folder, right? As I get to certain things, I tend to go on little tangents. I don't want to speak here too long, but I kind of a lot of little things to say to you guys. We do have backpacks for you when I get to packing and baggage. We have backpacks. You all have paid for a backpack, so make sure we get you a backpack. I have a lot of them. We also have little blue wristbands that come with the backpacks, and the wristbands have the phone number, 1-800 phone number, emergency number if you need it. We don't expect you to, but we have that available. Tom's going to be passing out the backpacks. Just raise your hand. You want to get one? I have lots of backpacks from years gone by, so make sure we get around to doing that. So if you take a look, you also have a roster. On the roster, just if you don't know everybody in the room, just make sure it's got their phone number. And I think I emailed, well, I know I emailed you a little while ago. At some point in time, you can even do it right now. I'd like you guys to all text me. Text me. Most of you have. I don't think some have. At the following phone number. 619-987-6666. If you haven't texted me yet, and just say, hey, Mr. McBride, hey, Brian, this is George Washington, Abraham Lincoln. And then what I'm going to do is put that phone number into my phone and put your name by it. That way, when we travel, we have everyone's phone number. It really makes it easy these days. We've been doing this for a few years now. Our ability to communicate with students and parents immediately is really special. We don't usually need to, but if parents, anytime they want to get a hold of me, just text me or call me back. I'm always available. Same with Tom. Tom's phone number, if you want to text him, I'll put it over here. Tom's phone number. 734. Thank you. Okay, just real fast while you're thinking about it. Okay, so first things first, we have the roster. We got about 34 travelers. When we travel, we tend to put the team in groups. There'll be, I think right now, 2 groups. One group myself, one group teams. Team McBride and Team Bryant. As for right now, we might change it up and make 3 or 4. Right now, there'll be 2 teams, and that's just for counting purposes. When we move around one restaurant to another, that kind of thing, it's amazing how 34 people looks just like 33. Everyone here? Yeah, we're all here. Okay, let's go. No, we're not all here. No, someone's in the bathroom. Someone just ducked around the corner to buy a shot glass for their dad. All right, someone ducked around the corner to buy a scarf, a football scarf.
It's not a shot glass.
Right, so what they do, they buy shot glasses all the time for their dad and their brothers and uncles. I see it. So anyways, for counting purposes, you all be placed in a team. Right, so that's coming up. We have a month to go before we leave. And I'll get to the flights in 1 second. You have it right in front of you. So you have all the roster. You got all the phone numbers. You have my phone number. You have Tom's phone number. And I think I've been put on the emails. The emails, I want to point out, that a couple emails have been bouncing back. I think I got a hold of those families. The email was bouncing back. It wasn't the correct email address. I think I got a hold of the families that was bouncing back. And I think you guys made some switches. If they didn't bounce back, then I'm going to go ahead and assume that you guys have been getting the emails. Is that right? So I don't always get a return email saying, yeah, I got it. So that's okay. I'm just saying I want to make sure we're getting the information. In the month to follow, before we take off on June 10th, I'll probably have a few more emails in there, maybe some links to a YouTube video. Actually, we're filming this tonight. If somebody misses this or wants to see a little bit more of what we talked about tonight, that's going to be on YouTube here real soon. All right, so next up, hotels and flights. You guys in front of you have it's just handout after handout. So hotels and flights, if you're the kind of person that likes to do a little research ahead of time on your hotel, some like to find out where it is. You guys can easily Google the kind of stuff and type it into the website and see what it looks like with Google Maps. You can zoom on in. The hotels with EF tours tend to be basic, so 2 to 3 star, 3 star we say. So they're basic hotels, they're clean, they're safe. They're in safe neighborhoods. They usually have access to public transportation. From London, that's the underground. From Paris, that's the metro. And the whole idea is by going clean and safe and basic, we will drive down the price for the parents, you guys, to pay for a really full-ranging trip to Europe. So if you're looking for beautiful chandeliers over a grand piano and somebody playing some gorgeous Gershwin, that's not on this trip. All right, and I think you guys understand why that's going to drive up the price. So you have the flights. Let's talk about flights for 1 second. The airline carrier is Delta. We're on Delta Airlines. Delta is Terminal 2. If you take a look at Delta, make sure you get that one written down. When you fly internationally, you need to be there 3 hours in advance. So if we take a look at that particular handout right now, 3 hours in advance, the flight is leaving at, I think it's 11:53. At 11:53 in the morning, right on June 10th, right here, that means back 3 hours, we can do this. That's 8:53 in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning flight, so 9 a.m. We want to be at Terminal 2 at 9 a.m. on June 10th. Everybody got that? At any point in time in the next month or so, you forget something, you can always text me, you can always call. But 9 a.m., which is 3 hours before the flight leaves, it's Delta. Speaking of Delta, I don't know if you guys have mileage plans. All the big carriers have mileage plans. If you want to get that for your son or daughter, get them started early. It's not a bad idea. I've got Delta. I fly a lot, obviously, but you guys are getting started early. Go ahead and pick up a Delta plan if you want to do that. If you've got a known traveler number, if you've got what's that called, global entry. Most students don't have global entry, but some do, and some parents do. You want to make sure before we do that trip that global entry number is and the mileage number, if you have it, is entered into the system. You can call them up directly with your information. If you're struggling how to do that, so calling Delta, because your information is right here. If they don't seem to know the information for you, call me, text me, and I'll fix it for you. I'll get a hold of Delta. I'm going to do that. I have global entry and I have the Delta, so I'm going to go do my stuff. But if you guys want to do that, that's my suggestion. All right, you can see we're going to go through New York. So San Diego to New York and New York to London, and we almost always go to Heathrow, and sure enough, we are too. So we start our tour in Heathrow, that's London, and then the information on the hotels on the very next page, right? And then don't have time to go detail. It's all on the website, but we'll be in London and then Paris, and then southern France, Avignon, and then we'll be over to Barcelona, then Madrid, then Toledo, then Sevilla, and then down to Malaga, with southern Spain, where Pablo Picasso is from originally. And that's the Spanish Riviera. So Spanish Riviera means beaches. Beaches means, for most of us, including the students, swimsuits, right? So this is a swimsuit trip. We should have we will have swimming opportunities in Malaga. Before that, can't promise. Sometimes we go swimming in the Pont de Gard. It's a river. It might be kind of cold. But the swimming down in Malaga, make sure you got that. So
Barcelona.
Maybe Barcelona. Yeah, Barcelona definitely has some beaches if we have some time to do that. So anyways, let's go on. Next one, we've got essential details for a smooth arrival. It's just some basic stuff. You want to go over passports. Everyone has a passport by now. If you haven't got a hard copy, take a picture. Passport on a copy machine. If I can get a hard copy from you, the reason why we do this is Murphy's Law. This is simply, if I've got a hard copy of your passport and you lose your passport overseas, and that's happened only one trip, our very first trip, we didn't lose it overseas. We lost a passport in San Francisco. We hadn't even gone overseas yet. My very first trip, lost a passport in San Francisco. That was a mess. And that's our very first trip. And I thought, okay, I hope it gets better after this, and it did. This is our 15th trip to Europe. So the reason why we, again, is if you miss a passport, lose a passport, we've got a copy of the passports. We quickly expedite getting a new passport. What you need to do is take a picture of your passport, take a picture of it, now it's in your phone. Then take that picture on your phone and email it to yourself. Now it's on the server, whatever your email is, Yahoo or Gmail, Google. Right now it's on the server. And then give me a hard copy. So if for some reason you lose your passport because your backpack was stolen, it's not going to be, but if your backpack was stolen and your phone was in the backpack, in addition to your wallet and your passport, then if someone says, oh, don't worry, you took a picture of it, it's on your phone. Well, that was in the backpack. All right? So that's why you want to email yourself, because it's on the server. But the real big deal is that's where I have the hard copy in a manila folder, and I can run to the embassy and get started. The tour director is going to do that. Our tour director is named Janine. This is our first year with her. I don't know her, but all the tour directors on the EF tours that I've worked with in the past have been phenomenal. So I'm looking forward to meeting her. We've done some emails back and forth. All right, so I've also included this A to Z checklist. This is kind of, you don't expect me to read it all right now. There's a lot of stuff in there. The A to Z checklist is thorough. There's a lot of information in the A to Z checklist. I made this up about 4 or 5 years ago. I keep on editing, adding, modifying. Run through the A to Z checklist when you get a chance.
Check out the G's, gelato, and euros.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff is in the A to G checklist. We'll talk money in just 1 second. So A to G checklist is pretty good to go here. Rules of the road. Rules of the road is, that's one of the handout. Rules of the road is basic behavior expectations by EF Tours and ourselves. Right? The expectation for behavior is we don't want to be the ugly American. We want to behave with respect. If someone's talking to us, a guide, headphones are out, eye contact is made, forward lean, head nod. We want to make sure we have the right kind of behavior. And speaking of behavior, and this is on the back of the rules of the road. The back of the rules of the road is the alcohol form. This is important to talk about this. These trips are not about alcohol at all. Right now, in our prior years, we have allowed alcohol with this form for those people who are 18 on the tour, and their parents signed an alcohol waiver form if they wanted to. That still applies, but EF's new rules for alcohol is alcohol simply not allowed if you're under 18. Period. We're going to follow that. If you're under 18 on this trip, alcohol is not allowed. All right. If you are 18, here's the general. Ready? If you are 18 and you've already graduated from Otay Ranch, and the parents want to look over that alcohol form and sign it, and the student signs it and I sign it, I will allow alcohol under those conditions right there. If you're looking at it, the conditions are no hard alcohol, so whiskey and that kind of stuff, beer and wine in moderation under adult supervision, that's me and Tony, right? And any kind of behavior coming about abuse of alcohol, leading to a manager in a hotel getting involved, whatever, any kind of inappropriate behavior, downright to illegal behavior, is grounds for dismissal from the tour. And that says that right on the alcohol form. I would expect most people to follow the real easy rule, which is no alcohol, right? If there's someone here who's graduated and they're going to be 18 and they talk with mom and dad and you're cool with those particular caveats right there, then sign it and bring it up to me and I'll sign it, and all three of us say we're good to go, we're good to go. And the expectation for alcohol would be on that particular contract. Everybody got that? I'm expecting this tour to be alcohol free for the most part. If it's one or two people want to follow the contract, then that's fine. I've never sent anyone home, never in 15 trips since 2006 anyone home. I have some colleagues who have, but sending someone home, alcohol is a good way to get started on that one. I just don't think it's really worth it to go down that path. The general rules of behavior, breaking the law, doing things illegal, that kind of stuff, that's grounds for sending students home. I'm only going over this because I think I have to be clear and thorough right now. We never have. We always have phenomenal students. As I look around the classroom right now, I know we have another group of phenomenal students. Awesome. We were so impressed every year, the quality of students and the families and the community. We expect nothing like this to happen, but I have seen some inappropriate behavior from some other groups, not our group, but I've seen it. And I just want to let you know that the policy calls for sending students home. And to finish up on that thought, sending students home means the very next day, and the parent's credit card, which is on file with EF Tours, will pay for that trip. Next day, one way home next day on one of your major air carriers is easy $1,500, and that's got to be paid for by the parents. Any refund on the tour at that point in time that is not covered is no refund. So no refund, next day air. I wouldn't want to be at that reunion in the airport. Halfway through a 17-day trip at day number 11. When the students coming down the escalator, mom and dad, instead of like welcome back home signs and balloons, have this kind of look on them. It's not going to. I just want to be thorough that we are aware that, we're the expectation. But I make this easy. You're representing yourself and your family and your school and your community. Just remember that. You guys, the parents, you've raised awesome students. You have all the time. This is easy. For many, many years of doing this, we've had no problems with this, and I expect no problems to continue. Just want to make sure we get through that real fast.